I didn't know that song's that popular.
Because it's country, brother. It covered, brother.
Brother.
Hey, brother. Welcome back to another episode of Distracted. You have your host Jag, aka Santos, alongside
Me, I'm Gugs.
And today we wanted to talk about some artists who've taken some bullets and they need to reestablish themselves. They've taken some kinks in their armor or whatever you want to call it, but fucking it's time to bounce back.
Yeah, and the two big artists we're talking about actually are Travis Scott and Drake.
Of course, we're always gonna throw Drake in the mix. It's fucking crazy, man. Like Travis just dropped a new, I don't know, it's like a new old album from 10 years ago.
Yeah, that's what's so crazy. So he dropped Days Before Rodeo, which he originally recorded and released in 2014.
10 fucking years ago. Like,
yeah,
that's insane. And I don't know, like, you can't review the album because you've heard the fucking album, so you know what it's like. But he did drop a video.
Yeah,
so
he did. Yeah,
I mean, that's pretty fucking new and crazy. What was it? The video's called
Drugs You Should Try.
Drugs You Should Try. It's so the one thing I took from it feels like it's a modern day song. Like if you release this now, I would be like, oh, that's a pretty fucking sick song. It doesn't sound dated. Like if you listen to some of Drake's old shit, you're like, bro, this sounds dated. It has that dated feel to it. Travis when I heard it again, it made me feel like, oh shit, like he has his own unique sound and he's always had that like untouchable sound.
Yeah. Like, to me, first off, I think it's pretty wild that you record a song and 10 years later you make the video.
That's
that in
nuts.
Itself is pretty
That's
wild.
Crazy, man.
But yeah, like I love that. I feel like when he first, like I remember when he first released it, and it was like I love the album. It was like because Travis really found his sound back then.
Yeah.
It was like like I felt like he really got it. So that's why it still sounds like him. It's still like his own unique sound. In fact, I think it's like a little darker than he really kind of became. And I like that.
It doesn't sound so pop.
Yeah.
Like it sounds like the authentic Travis that we came to know and fell in love with. And to tell you the truth, like I think it's him trying to like get new fans. He's showing his, like, to us it's like, oh, it's a 10-year-old stream or a 10-year-old album, but to his new fans, a lot of them don't know the old Travis. They only know the Kylie Jenner Travis.
Yeah, that's crazy because
right?
if you really think about it, he put this out like just before he dropped, because it's Days Before Rodeo, and then his first major album was Rodeo. Yeah, then he had Antidote, and like he blew up after that, Birds in the Trap. Then like it's like when you really started hitting like new heights. Yeah, and then he became just mainstream pop culture, and like then he became the icon he is. But this is way before people really were introduced to him.
And I don't know if you saw it, but like when he was just doing his tour back in Europe right now, he was actually asking people, like the fans, hey, if you want my autograph, tell me a fucking one of my old songs. And realistically, they can't because they weren't fans of Travis back then, man. Like they didn't know Travis how we knew Travis. Like a lot of people only know Travis after Astroworld, realistically. Me, my personal favorite, and I don't know if I'm going to take shit for this or not, I think Astroworld, in my opinion, is one of his best albums.
Yeah, I mean, you could easily say definitely it is one of his best projects. So, I mean, there's nothing wrong with saying that.
Yeah, but like the diehards, they'll be like, oh, bro, Rodeo, they'll go take it back.
I was the guy I would always say Days Before Rodeo was my favorite. Yeah, right? So that's why I'm so pumped for it.
Yeah, like it's a great album, but fucking he's trying to build his image back, and who the fuck, like, why not?
Yeah, so this is my theory is, and I think it's kind of smart too. It's like go back to your core fan base, right? Like if you still feel like you're not gonna be as big or you're not being accepted the way you once were, it was like, start back from your core foundation, right? Which was like all the fans of Days Before Rodeo. So yeah, like be like, I'm going back to this Travis, I'm going back to this sound, right? I'm gonna like. But
it's easy because it's like he drops it. And he feels like it feels like he's going to like his old Travis. For us, it's like it's just a throwback. But to new fans, it's like, oh shit, like he sounded like this. Like they're getting to fall back in love with the artist again, you know, like they're getting to see this whole other side that they probably never knew.
Yeah, which is kind of cool because, I mean, in today's streaming age, right? Like if it's not on a streaming platform, like where are you gonna find it?
Bro, I remember fucking iTunes, and you'd have to pay 99 cents for the fucking song, or it'd be back in the days like Napster and shit. Like you'd have to like fucking download that shit and find it, and then like we used to go through struggles, man.
Yeah,
and it fucked me up too. Like even now, like if it's not on, like you said, if it's not on streaming, I'm 99% not gonna go hunt for it unless it's like some crazy throwback and I gotta find it on YouTube and whatever else. But like, it's got to be on streaming now. That's just the way to go.
I actually do that too. Like I have like YouTube songs that aren't on Spotify. Actually, I had songs from this album on my I made a YouTube playlist. Yeah. But you think about it, like back 10 years ago, he still has features from Young Thug, Rich Homie Quan, like,
and that's when those guys were coming up.
It's pretty dope 10 years ago.
Like
so
it's pretty crazy.
It's really kind of smart too, because like you said, like a lot of people, maybe they only discovered him during Astro World. So now they dig back and they're like, oh shit, I like this Travis. Maybe now they're going to be like, oh, I'll go back and listen to Rodeo. Maybe they haven't heard that. Maybe they'll go back even days before Rodeo. So like, who knows, right?
So so now that we're talking about this, do you think that other artists will start doing this? Like, do you think this is a new, hey, let's re-release some of our old shit that maybe wasn't on streams before?
I think it'd be cool. It would be dope because the thing is, if you have like if you have old projects that aren't on streaming, then it's like, where do you find them? So it's like, this is a part of your legacy, your catalog. If you're really proud of that project, then you like go put it on streaming, right? But maybe it's not for all projects. Some projects, maybe samples can't get cleared. There's always shit like that.
Yeah,
too.
I think even Lil Uzi recently has been coming out. He's been struggling with this album because a lot of people aren't clearing his samples anymore. Seems like that's sort of that fucking the age old thing where, you know, like samples are. Look at Diddy and fucking that's the Sting song. Like Sting's still fucking him for that sample. So
and apparently the way you said that, the way you just
he's still fucking. Oh yeah. Oh shit, Diddy. Oh man, that did not age well at all. Eh? Oh
but
fuck.
Apparently, ASAP Rocky, he can't get his.
Really?
He's supposed to be. I think he was already supposed to drop "Don't Be Dumb," his new album, but apparently he's having sample issues, so that got pushed back again too.
Shit.
But
like, imagine being at that caliber and not being able to get your samples cleared now. Yeah. Like, you know, like there comes a certain time when I feel like there's certain artists where you would just think they just get cleared fucking, you know, to the snap of the fingers. Oh, this is ASAP, or this is Drake, or this is fucking Kanye, and who gives a shit? But I mean, whatever. It's the world we live in, man. It's
there was something Kanye did a little while back. I think it was on Carnival, where it was like, Ozzy Osbourne wouldn't clear a sample.
Yeah, Ozzy. But there was another one too.
Ozzy Osbourne had cleared it for Kanye from before on another song. So then Kanye just sampled his own song that had
Oh man, you know what? I actually saw something. Mustard was saying, you know, like what was that one song that dun.
Oh yeah.
He was saying
the Kid Ink one.
Yeah, but like they were saying like, how'd you clear the sample? And he's like, well, technically, if you just replay the sample, you only gotta pay a fraction of the amount that you would pay for a full sample clearance. I was like, yo, that's smart, because Drake does that shit all the time. I was actually listening to 40 once, and he was like, we use a sample, we create the beat, we take out the sample, and we re-throw in something that sounds very similar to it, or we put on a shitload of effects and we only keep the effects, and that way they're like, you get around the sample half the time. And I'm like, shit, man, like that's some crazy manipulative shit, like to not fucking pay a sample.
Yeah, I mean, if you can get away with it, then like, why not?
More
right?
power to you. And then, you know what? Getting onto the whole Drake subject, we brought up Drake's name. He, as you know, took some fucking serious hurt. You know, he felt some pain from Kendrick and all these other guys. And he's doing some unprecedented shit right now. Like, when did you ever know of this guy to release like songs just like this? He's dropped 6 fucking tracks, and some of them were pretty fucking good. And he's dropped, you know, he did the whole 100 gig site, dropped a shitload of videos. Like, I'm talking like, you can't even get through them. Like, there's so much shit. And I just go on whatever's on IG or Twitter or fucking, you know, like TikTok, watch it across there. And I don't know, like, let's start off with the videos. Do you like? I personally feel like these videos were more of a. I was always waiting for a Drake documentary, right? It's one of the things I think, like, when you get an artist of that caliber, you want to see how they made it, where they made it, the thought process behind a lot of this shit. And I've always wondered, like, I want to see Drake and the studio sessions, the fucking writing sessions, the everything that goes on behind it. And I feel like, what if this is just a smart way of releasing a bunch of content and being like, I can never catch criticism for releasing a documentary, because what if somebody says, oh bro, this documentary sucked, like it wasn't put together well, or blah. So now he just dropped everything that would probably be in that documentary and be like, well, fuck an actual documentary, just, you got all the footage, just watch it yourself and enjoy it, like, for little clips. And it's, the other thing is smart, like, I know I'm going on a fucking rant right now, but like, the other smart thing is it's already chopped up clips, so it's so easy for people on social media to just keep posting. So even without him doing any work, he drops these videos and everybody just keeps posting them for clickbait, or look how he made this song, or he made that song, and look how he made Nothing Was the Same, and started from the bottom, and all this other bullshit. I mean, fuck. I think I just sort of threw all my fucking points out in a pot there, and if I can, you guys already know what I feel about this shit.
The way I see it, I think the same way we talked about Travis rehabbing kind of his image and going back to his core audience, I think this works for Drake too,
100%,
because now it's like, oh yeah, you see the human side of Drake, you see, like, never mind all this beef shit and all that, like, it's like, oh Drake's a good, honest, hardworking dude in the studio.
Yeah, he put in work.
Oh, I remember old Drake. Oh, I used to love songs from Take Care, Nothing Was the Same. And now you get to see him making those songs, and like, even for me, like, I was watching him, there was a video of him making Over My Dead Body, and then working on, just like in general, the album for Nothing Was the Same, and and like even like the Jodeci freestyle, that was like one of the videos I saw.
Man.
Yeah, and it was actually kind of cool, like
shit that I've always wanted to see, like how, like, what goes into it, what did you do to make this hit?
He seems like such a
he's a very
well-behaved,
hey
proper
guys,
manner.
I want you to remove the second verse, and we're gonna pull back, and we're gonna, you know what I mean? He does have that. I was actually gonna say it, and I didn't want to say like he sounds pussy or anything, nothing like that. But he just sounds like very.
He's like the most like easy, polite guy to work with.
He does have a persona.
Guess.
He does really have a persona though. Like, when you hear Drake now, like, oh, fuck this, fuck that, all that shit, like, he does not sound like that in the videos. The videos, he's very cut clean, like, very demure, very, I don't know if you've seen the demure fucking shit that's been blowing up. I don't think you have. Oh, man. He acts very demure, very cut clean from, like, and all that shit. But it's fucking interesting to see. And the songs themselves are the ones that he dropped.
Oh yeah.
Now
that's one thing I'll say.
That's a whole
I
other
actually
fucking.
think the songs are actually fire. Like I really fuck with the songs. Like
shit that you thought he would have put on like actual like releases.
Yeah, like so when he did the first three that he dropped, it was housekeeping knows,
blue, red, green,
It's Up,
and It's Up.
Yeah, and like he has a Lotto feature, 21 Savage, Young Thug, like. These are pretty big features, and all the songs were catchy. They were good.
I'm surprised Young Thug was on there.
Yeah,
because like Young Thug's, he's been very popular in the culture and
very closely affiliated with Future.
Yeah, like, and it's
Boomin.
like, is this him picking sides? Is this him staying neutral and saying fuck it, I'm not gonna be all up in it? Like, it's a tough call. I'm surprised, or it was a throwaway track and he's fucking like, yo, it doesn't matter if. He recorded his verse back in the day. He gave it to me, and I fucking released it. What are you gonna do?
Yeah, I wonder if it's old or if it's new. Like, I don't know, but
it's crazy.
But all three of those songs, I see. But like how you said, right? For me, it wasn't on streaming. I wasn't really gonna go out of my way to find it. But then when they did release all three of those tracks on streaming, I played them out
right away.
Yeah. Then I started listening to them a lot. And then when the second three, those still haven't dropped on streaming though. I want them to.
So the first three only dropped because Universal made them drop it, right? Like they were losing money. They 100%. Like that's their golden pony boy. They're not gonna lose out on fucking 3 big potential hits. But I won't lie. Blue, Red, Green, and Housekeeping took some time for me to like. I heard them and I was like, these really sound unfinished. They don't sound maybe the best. But after some listens and just sort of hearing it maybe in like online, wherever, I grew to like it. I was like, okay, fuck, I fuck with this shit. But his second drop, ooh, fuck, man. The second drop with No Face, Circadian Rhythm, and SOD, Without Yachty, Super Soaker. Those three I feel like were hits.
I like all three of those.
All three
too,
certified bangers.
They actually grew on me. When I first listened to them, same thing. I was just kind of like whatever, and then I don't know. I kind of started listening to them more, and then I was like, man, these are bangers too. I want them to be on Spotify.
And you know what? He addresses a lot of shit that's still been going on in people's minds with the whole Kendrick shit and how am I still up? How am I still fucking relevant? Like, clearly,
it seems like these are not recorded that long ago because it sounds like he's talking about current shit.
And you know, so this
which is his situation. Obviously.
This comes up to the other point though now. So like, did Drake really fucking lose in this battle because everybody's still talking pro Drake? And I'm not knocking Kendrick, but Kendrick, the only thing he's given us so far was a little snippet from his video from Not Like Us. And that's the only thing everybody's trying to hold on to right now.
Which did sound fire, though.
It was. No. Undoubtedly, like, it was sick. But don't do what Mustard did. Like, Mustard thought he was, like, up here, and he fucking fell flat. And he even came out recently and said, like, oh, I'm not even going to make a song with Drake anymore. He's a weirdo. And then people started playing back his interview from like 2017 where he's like, man, Drake doesn't answer my calls. He doesn't want to, like, I run into him at Delilah and I'm trying to send him a beat, but he just won't like get on my beats. And it's like, bro, you sound fucking foolish now.
But he says in what song was it? He says, how many summers did I run? Like 10.
10. Yeah. So he's taking shots. He's taking some.
Yeah, like that's
Drake
what I mean.
is doing what Drake does.
Yeah, because Mustard has that 10 Summers album, right?
Yeah. And their label, it's called 10 Summers.
Oh yeah, okay.
So I mean, fuck, like, dude, shit, man, like. And
he like even that the No Face song.
Yeah,
with Playboy Cardi on it. That sounds like he's talking about current stuff too, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like I did come across this one theory online, and I sort of agree with it. And it's pretty much like Drake won't drop officially on streaming platforms, and because if the song flops, well, it's like, oh well, it was a whatever song. But if it gets released and it flops, it's like, oh shit, Drake just took a big L on some of these songs. So I don't know, was that sort of him feeling it out? Because I think is it Blue, Red, Green? I think it's almost at some crazy, like, hundreds of millions of listens already on streaming. So clearly it's doing well for itself. And now it's sort of like, well, I have another hit on my hands.
But I think, so you're asking if who won?
No, I still think Kendrick won overall. I think Kendrick won that.
Yeah.
But who's bouncing? Like who? Like.
But I think, this is what Kendrick was telling you. I like Drake with the melodies.
Yeah, but no Circadian Rhythm and all these songs. Those aren't melodies. Those are him rapping, like No Face and all that shit. Like,
No Face.
He went back to his rap, and we're like, damn, that's a good song.
No, I actually I like all of them, and I like how he's talking his shit on No Face and stuff like that too, right? But that sounds cool. He doesn't have to really act tough, but he can just still talk his shit and still rap.
Yeah. Well, that's what I mean, though. Like he's sort of, his rehabilitation program is working wonders right now. Like, it's fucking.
But that's what I was gonna mention though, is that Nevermind. Like I think what I was gonna, the point I was gonna make was like, yeah, he may have lost, but for people to think that, oh, this, like, Drake fell off, like, he's never gonna come back. Like, he's too good. He's too good for that.
Man.
And like, what was that stat that came out recently? Like, his monthly listeners, or
I know one was like his 10.
How many billions of listeners? He's like the first person ever.
Yeah, like that.
One of those weird arbitrary numbers.
He's one of the first artists to have like 10 albums that are.
At 3 billion streams or something?
3 billion, some crazy figure. Like, at the end of the day, not everybody can say if they've done that kind of shit. Like,
like all his listeners came back. Like,
oh, and sorry, I actually came across another stat today that Kendrick's Not Like Us, being the #1 stream song in America in 2024 so far, has been beat out by that other guy who sings that country song. The
Shabuzi?
Yeah, Shabuzi. He beat him out. He now is the official most listened to artist in 2024 in America. He has taken out Not Like Us. Yeah, shit. So I mean, fuck. God damn.
I don't know what to say.
Right?
Wow.
Like that's.
I didn't know that song's that popular.
Because it's country, brother. It covers brother.
Brother.
Hey, brother. It covers fucking everything, man. It covers your country, and you got a guy rapping. Well, not rapping, but he's a black guy. The culture, like he's mixing everything together. Like it fucking works, brother. You know what I mean? He's definitely no Lil Nas X, so he's fucking representing the right way. But you know what? I think that's enough bullshit for today. I think two guys are rehabilitating themselves. They're doing wonders. Travis, I am definitely becoming a Travis fan once again. I'm not saying I wasn't, but I will not lie. His last album, I liked it, but it didn't. It didn't do what Astroworld did for me. Astroworld for me was number one. Like fucking Stargazing, Sicko Mode, like so many other fucking songs, just like hits, you know. And then Drake. If he keeps going on the trajectory he's going on, well, clearly we'll say this: Drake's not retiring anytime soon and taking a year off, because if this is what a year off looks like, fuck, I wonder what it'd be full force. That wraps up that segment, which brings us to our next part. One of my favorite segments is our little video game. Not video game. What are we talking about? A little game that we play. Should we do the intro?
Yes.
Here we go. Coming to you now is Two Truths.
Oh, shit.
You were so pumped. I'm like, I thought we would have learned our lesson from this, but clearly you didn't. Okay, so let's do this once again for the second time. Two Truths
and one lie.
All right, so you can go first, and okay. I'll let you run with this.
So, since we mentioned Travis Scott, my topic is Travis Scott.
Okay.
So 2 truths and 1 lie.
All right.
I will read you 3 facts. You tell me which one is the lie.
Okay, here we go.
The first one. Since you love Astroworld so much.
Oh, there you go.
Travis Scott's Astroworld was actually based off a real place called Astroworld. Number 2. Travis Scott early on was signed to T.I.
Oh, okay.
Number 3, of his 4 major solo releases, which were Rodeo, Birds in the Trap Sing McKnight, Astroworld, and Utopia, 2 of them went number 1.
What was the second one? He was signed to T.I.?
Yes.
For some reason, I think he was signed to T.I. in his early years. Okay, so hold on. So number 1 was, it was actually based on a real Astroworld. Like, okay, so I know that's true because Houston had Astroworld, and you heard that snippet in the start where that little girl says it. I want to go to Astroworld or whatever. And then the second, Tia, that's a tricky one. And the third, what was the third one? Utopia.
He has 2 number 1 solo albums of his 4 major releases.
I want to say, oh, that's a hard one. This is a good one. I want to say number. Holy fuck! What is this guy? I feel like T.I. Like he probably was signed to T.I. Because where the fuck would you get that from? I want to say number 3 is a lie.
Ding, ding, ding.
Yes.
You are correct.
Wow, there you go.
He actually has 3 number 1 albums.
I knew some bullshit like that. I knew it was going to be some fucking shit like that.
I'm almost on the bullshit.
I knew it.
Birds of the Trap Sing McKnight went number 1.
Man.
Utopia went number 1. And Astroworld went number 1. Only Rodeo did not go number 1.
Shit. Okay, good. Okay, at least I won that one. Fuck.
I was hoping you'd kind of mix up the T.I. thing and be like, no, he was signed to Kanye.
You know what? No. You know what it is? That just sounded too like.
Yeah.
Like okay,
he actually did have a deal with T.I. and Kanye.
See, like there you go. All right, so I'm gonna talk about Morgan Wallen, since we talked a little bit about country and whatnot. So 1, Wallen was a contestant on season 6 of The Voice, who made it to the playoffs but then lost. Number 2, Wallen shares a top charts record with Taylor Swift and the Beatles, alongside Drake, 21 Savage, and Juice WRLD. Number 3, Wallen was supposed to be in the NFL as a running back. Wallen had a shoulder injury that ended his career in university. Whiskey.
I'm gonna say number 3 is a lie.
Fuck you. You are correct. Shit.
His body does not strike me as a
But
running back body.
he was supposed to be in a baseball player, but he was taken out by an injury.
Okay, baseball based a little bit more.
Yeah, he was baseball. But yeah, no, it's crazy. Like he's been compared to like fucking like his stat.
That's pretty wild. But I know he's super successful. So I was like, I don't really want to.
Yeah,
he probably hit those achievements.
Well, yeah, I think he's one of the only 6 artists to ever hold half of the top 10 songs on the Billboard Hot 100 chart. That's huge.
That's pretty. Like you're big when you're crossing over, right? Like
yeah, 100%.
Like, he has songs with Lil Durk.
Yeah, the Lil Durk and
Yo,
fucking that Moneybag Yo Whiskey song is a fucking banger. I love that song. But that concludes our episode. 2 trivia, we had 2 trivia as we covered some Travis Scott, some Drake. The next episode, is episode 25, the big one. Probably do some deep dives. And on that note, I think it's a wrap. We out.
Peace.
Boom.